In 2007, inside a packed Moscone Center, Steve Jobs held up a glass slab under blinding stage lights. The crowd roared. Cameras flashed. On the big screen, photos snapped instantly. Backstage, engineers exhaled. A new camera era had quietly begun that day. Everyone expects the iPhone 20 Pro Max to go full sci-fi for Apple's 20th generation. The twist is the exact opposite. Early leaks say Apple may use camera sensor tech introduced in 2024. Old parts, new results, and the reaction online is already split hard. Here's my verdict up front. Using older camera tech in the iPhone 20 Pro Max isn't embarrassing. It's classic Apple. The company doesn't chase the newest spec. It chases a repeatable result that looks good every single time you tap the shutter. Now, I get why people are heated. 2027 phone, 2024 sensor sounds like a mismatch. It sounds like Apple cheaping out. It sounds like the same old story where other brands flex massive hardware and Apple shows up with smaller numbers and a straight face. But that knee-jerk reaction misses how Apple actually wins. The entire internet loves scoreboards. Bigger sensor, more megapixels, brighter display, more zoom, bigger battery. And yeah, on paper, Apple often looks late. No foldable phone yet. Battery capacity tends to stay conservative. Peak brightness often trails the loudest Android flagships. Glare resistance still isn't the best in the business. Then there's AI. Rivals have been shipping shiny new tricks fast, and Apple's been taking its sweet time. That part is real. People want the fireworks now. But the iPhone's secret sauce has never been first place in a spec race. It's the boring consistency that makes regular people trust it. Look at older models. The iPhone 14 and iPhone 15 still produce shots most people love. Skin tones don't look radioactive. Video doesn't wobble like jelly. Night shots don't turn into a watercolor painting. Portrait mode usually nails the vibe without making hair look like it was cut out with scissors. That's the Apple play. Mature tech, tuned hard, is shipped when it's ready. So why would Apple mess with that formula on a milestone phone like the iPhone 20, a device that should feel like a celebration? Because celebration doesn't have to mean weird experiments. It can mean finally fixing the most annoying camera problem in modern phone photography: brutal contrast. You know the shot. Someone stands in front of a bright window. Their face turns into a silhouette. Or you expose the face, and the window becomes a glowing white portal. Or you film outside at noon, and the sky clips into a flat sheet of light. Phones struggle there. All of them. That's why the leaked sensor detail is spicy. The chatter points to LOFIC, short for Lateral Overflow Integration Capacitor. And yes, it's been around in prototypes for years, with real momentum in 2024 when OmniVision showed off sensors built around the idea. This isn't some brand new, fragile science project. It's a technique aimed at keeping highlight details while still pulling information out of shadows. That's the dream. More usable dynamic range without turning every photo into an overprocessed HDR cartoon. If you've heard the name OmniVision popping up, that's because they've been pushing hard. In 2024, they announced the OV50K40, pairing their Thea Cell HDR approach with LOFIC. The pitch was simple: handle extreme lighting better. Keep details, keep texture, keep reality. And when you hear OV50K40, don't get stuck on the model name. The important part is the direction. This is sensor tech designed for hard, real-world light, not just pretty lab demos. Now, here's where the debate gets messy. People see Android phones offering a whole buffet of camera hardware. Some ships with 1-inch type sensors. Some go crazy with 200 megapixels. Some bring 10x optical zoom. Some use variable aperture lenses. Some even lock into a 35mm style focal length to mimic a dedicated camera look. That's fun, that's bold, and sometimes it's genuinely awesome. But it also creates a different problem: inconsistency. You've probably noticed it even if you don't think about camera tech. You switch lenses and the color shifts. You zoom in and fine detail turns crunchy. You shoot indoors and the phone oversharpens everything. You shoot a person and the skin smoothing gets weird. You film video and the exposure pulses like it's breathing. Those phones can be spectacular at their best. They can also be unpredictable. Apple's camera ecosystem, by comparison, is kind of strict. Standard iPhones usually stick to a main lens and an ultra-wide. Pro models add a telephoto. Budget lines cut things back even more. It's not a playground, it's a curated set. That limitation annoys enthusiasts. I get it. People want options. They want tools. They want to play. But for general viewers, for families, for creators who just need a shot that works, that tight control is a feature. Apple tunes fewer parts. It polishes the pipeline. It aims for a high hit rate. So when the iPhone 20 Pro Max allegedly tests LOFIC-based hardware from that 2024 wave, I don't see old, I see proven. The idea is to combine stable hardware with Apple's obsessive image processing. That combo is exactly how you get new results out of older tech. Because in phone cameras, the sensor is only the start. The processing is the whole fight. And there's another angle people forget. A lot of iPhone buyers care more about video than photos. They film their kids, they shoot travel clips, they record events, they post short videos. They want smooth exposure changes. They want stable footage. They want faces that don't flicker between warm and cold. That's where better highlight control matters like crazy. If LOFIC helps the sensor hold bright areas without blowing them out, your video looks more expensive instantly. Skies keep texture. Lights at night don't explode into giant blobs. Backlit faces keep detail, and you don't need to fix it later. That's the type of upgrade that feels huge in daily use, even if the spec sheet doesn't scream. Now, I can already hear the pushback. It's the iPhone 20. Apple has to do something dramatic. Sure, but dramatic doesn't have to mean risky camera hardware. Apple could go dramatic with design. It could go dramatic with display tech. It could go dramatic with battery materials. It could go dramatic with on-device AI features that actually help normal people. And yes, Apple is taking heat for the AI gap. So if you're betting on a big moment for 2027, software and silicon are right there, begging to be the headline. Also, the 20th generation thing is a little tricky. The iPhone lineup has never been a clean one number per year story. Names jump. Models overlap. But culturally, 2027 is still going to feel like a major milestone. People will treat it like one. That's why the camera leak has traction. It's not just about parts. It's about symbolism. Fans want Apple to flex. They want the biggest sensor. They want the wild zoom. They want the numbers that shut everybody up. Apple wants something else. It wants the shot to look good every time. It wants reliability. And I'm going to say it plainly, reliability is underrated because it doesn't screenshot well. A phone that nails exposure in harsh sunlight doesn't go viral. A phone that keeps faces natural in mixed indoor lighting doesn't trend. A phone that records stable video at a concert without turning the stage lights into a mess doesn't win Twitter debates. But it wins customers. It wins trust. It wins a long-term reputation. Now, is it possible Apple is playing it too safe? Absolutely. If the iPhone 20 Pro Max shows up with the familiar camera vibe and only modest gains, people will roast it, especially if competitors are shipping bigger sensors and flashier optics by then. And there's a real risk here. Mature tech can become an excuse for stagnation if the results don't jump. Apple has to deliver a visible improvement, not just a technical explanation. But the LOFIC angle suggests Apple is chasing a specific pain point instead of chasing bragging rights. Fix the hard lighting. Fix the blown highlights. Fix the shadow detail. Make the camera more dependable in ugly conditions. If they pull that off, you'll feel it in daily life. Outdoor photos, window-lit portraits, city nights, vacation video, the stuff people actually shoot. That's why the reaction is mixed. One crowd hears 2024 sensor tech and sees the company coasting. They want Apple to stop being cautious. They want the biggest hardware leap possible. The other crowd hears proven HDR-focused sensor design and sees Apple getting serious about image quality where it counts. Less of a gimmick, more keepers, more usable shots. I'm firmly in the second camp with one big condition. The iPhone 20 Pro Max has to show the receipts. Real improvement, real detail retention, real highlight control, better video in nasty light. If Apple uses an older sensor design and the output looks the same as the previous generation, it's over. The criticism will be deserved. But if Apple ships a camera system that's simply the most reliable in the industry, that's a win that matters. Especially on a milestone model where everyone's expecting fireworks. Sometimes the smartest flex is delivering perfection in the boring moments. And that's the report to watch as more leaks land. The iPhone 20 Pro Max using 2024-era LOFIC sensor tech sounds backwards, but it fits Apple's playbook. The company bets on proven hardware and obsessive tuning, not spec sheet chaos. If the real-world results show stronger dynamic range and steadier video, the old tech headline will age terribly fast. Drop your take in the comments. Do you want Apple to chase the biggest camera specs, or do you want the most dependable results every time? I'm watching the leaks closely, and I want to hear your priorities. See you in the next one.